Hey guys, it's Melissa with Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. Today I thought I would talk to you guys just more about trusting the process and knowing that things are going to work out for you in the end and what you need to know in order to get through whatever it is that you're getting through, that you're needing to work through in order to get to the other side of something. Because what I know for sure is that right now, all of us who have been called to be light workers or who are on our spiritual path, we are coming up against obstacles. Lessons are being brought up to us from the past that we still haven't learned yet. We are breaking free of old patterns of behavior, and we are trying to find a new path. And that's happening in many different areas for all of us. For me, it's been about patterns with relationships, or also just believing in myself and that pattern of not doubting myself, not doubting my abilities. And that's what I've been working on, and what keeps coming up for me is changing my pattern of thought and belief system about myself, my abilities, and then therefore that changes also my behavior in relationships to know that I'm important, I'm worthy of being loved and taken care of, so I'm not over-giving in relationships anymore because I know that I deserve a lot more than that. So it's breaking free of those patterns. And I know that some of you are also going through similar things, and it may be in other areas of your life. Maybe it is in your relationships, but maybe it's in your job, maybe in your career. You're learning how to stick up for yourself, or to change your path if you're feeling like you're stuck where you are. If that's not where you're meant to be, you're looking at, what is my passion? What should I be doing? What's my life's purpose? So we're doing all of these things to up-level spiritually, and as we're doing that, we're coming up against old behavior and thought patterns, and we're having to learn how to change those. And we're also trying to learn lessons that maybe we haven't learned throughout this life yet. There are a lot of lessons we come here to learn, and we have to learn them one way or the other. And so once we learn them, we don't have to keep coming up against that same lesson. And for me, I know that I've had the same lesson pop up in my life over and over and over again, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm feeling strong enough and like I've done the work, and I've done enough spiritual growth and learning to finally break through that lesson and to learn it and to move on. So as some of you are doing that, I want you to keep the faith and just know that the universe has a plan, and they always have your back, and there's divine timing going on. I talked about that yesterday, but divine timing is so important because we can get very impatient waiting for the things that we want to happen. But what we need to realize is that we play a part in that because we have to do the work that we have to do. Whether it's maybe stopping a behavior pattern, I don't know what it is, but, let's just say that you know that you are drinking too much on the weekend, or let's say that you know that you aren't eating properly and you're not taking care of your body. Those kinds of things can totally block us from receiving the abundance that we're looking for, because we're not learning the lessons we're supposed to be learning in those areas of our lives. If we're not taking care of ourselves, any of those things can cause us to not get to the next level because we're not learning what we were supposed to learn. So as you're being patient for the things that you wish to manifest to come about, it's important to think to yourself, am I doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing in order to help this along? Am I calling on my team? Am I meditating? Am I taking care of myself? Am I doing all of the things that I need to do in order to help this along? Because yes, the universe totally has your back, and they've got a plan going on their side and on their end, but you also have to have your end You have to do what you're supposed to do on your end in order to meet them in the middle so they can help you. And I pulled 3 cards today from the Kuan Yin deck. I just pulled them for myself, and I had already planned on talking to you about this topic today, and when I pulled them, they went right along with what I think, I've been talking to you about, and I thought, that's not a happy accident, so I think that somebody else needs to hear this message today too. So I'm going to read you what I pulled, and I initially just pulled these for myself, and when I saw them, I was like, oh my gosh, this goes right along with what I was going to talk about, so somebody needs to hear this. So I'm going to read these to you. Again, this is from the Kuan Yin deck by Alana Fairchild. And the first one that I pulled was Mother Fierce. It says, Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured. In the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power, know that you are safe, you are protected, you are loved. And so, we were just talking about how you have to take the steps on your end to move forward if you want the universe to match you at that level. And for some of you, you're debating whether or not to step into your spiritual power. You may have realized that you've got gifts. It could be gifts of healing. And like I said, a gift of healing doesn't even have to be that you're actually a healer who does Reiki. A gift of healing could be that you're supposed to be working with children, and you're supposed to be teaching them. That's your path, or that you're supposed to be writing a book because the topic you're writing about could help so many people. It could be anything like that. That is you being a healer because you're helping others step into their spiritual path and to find their purpose and to be a light in the world. We're helping others find their light. And so this card to me tells me that we need to let our fears go about stepping into that light, stepping into the role, stepping into those leadership positions, because that's what we're meant to be. That's who we are. We came here to do just that, and don't let fear hold you back. The second card that I pulled is To the Celestial Mountain. And it says, you have the ability to invoke divine power, to call to the celestial mountain so that you might be gifted with the spiritual energy you need to attain your goals. Permitting beings that love you unconditionally to help you is an expression of spiritual empowerment. You empower the divine forces that can assist you to come to your aid and help you manifest your visions. And again, if you're waiting on something to manifest, you have the ability and the power to manifest what you desire. But you have to call on your spiritual team to help you. And you have to believe that they're there to help you. And you have to move your feet. You have to move forward in some way. There's something that you need to do in order to see that achieved. And this to me is telling you, they are on your side. They have your back. They are ready for action. And now it's time for you to do your part. The last thing I got was Turquoise Lotus Mother. And this one says, an old pattern is finally ending. You are to be lifted from your struggle, freed from a weight of the past. You have learned all that you needed to learn, and now it's time for release, divine protection, and the happiness of a healed heart and peaceful soul. And oh my gosh, amen for that. I am so ready for old patterns to be gone and to break free of those and to get rid of the weight of all those things that no longer serve me. You don't even know how awesome and freeing that feels to get rid of those things. I carried around so many emotions for so long from situations that I didn't even have any control over at the time. Or even if I had control over things a little bit, I couldn't go back and change the past. And so I had to free myself of those emotions and those feelings and to learn that the behavior that I was exhibiting before wasn't serving me, that I needed to go in and do the work on myself. And I know that now that I have done that work and now that I am freeing myself from those old behavior patterns, I'm going to see a totally different future. And I know that wonderful and beautiful things are coming my way and are going to happen just because I let go. Learning to let go can be one of the hardest things that you do. We as human beings have such a need to cling to things and to control things that are out of our control sometimes. And I get it. The reason we do is because oftentimes when we had feelings of being out of control, and as a child, you feel that at times, you don't have a lot of control over what happens to you when you're growing up and when you're a child, because much of that is determined for you by someone else. So if you ever had feelings of being out of control as a child, of not being able to control your situation, and divorce is one example of a situation like that. When you're a child of divorce and you go through that, you feel totally lost and out of control. And so what happens is that, and I'll give you another example, being a child of someone who is addicted to something. So if you're a child of an alcoholic or a drug addict, that's another situation where you don't have a lot of control, and it can be very scary and you can feel helpless. And what happens is that we tend to want to over-control everything in our lives because we didn't have the control back then. It's all about the mindset and the behavior patterns that we learned growing up. And it takes a long time, but we really have to get yourself out of those behavior and thought patterns because they don't serve you and they don't work for you. They haven't worked for you, or else you wouldn't be trying to learn different behavior patterns. So letting go of things that no longer serve us, and sometimes that's the biggest lesson that we have, is just to let go. And once you do, it's such a freeing feeling. Imagine that, I'll give you an example. We did rock climbing for a training. It was like a team building activity. We did the rock climbing and we were in a harness and we got to the very top and it was pretty high up. And to get down again, you had to let go and lean back and fall back basically. And so there were two kinds of reactions. When people would get to the top and they would, because, of course, I didn't volunteer to go first. I kind of wanted to see what was going on. They couldn't let go. They couldn't fall back. Like they would start to fall back, panic, and then go to grab something. And then when they did that, what happened was then you would quickly fall down and they would usually not land on their feet. They'd fall over because they didn't do what the instructor told them to do, which was to let go. And the people who went to the top and let go, what happened was when they just trusted, even though I can attest to this, when you're up there and you do it, you don't feel that something's going to catch you. You just have to trust. And so you fall completely back and you let go. And at first, it is a panicked moment because there's nothing that feels like it's catching you and like you're not going to just fall down. But it does kick in, and then you realize, I'm not going anywhere, this has got me. But it's that first moment of panic, of letting go, of no, I can't let go. It's that instinct, that fear that kicks in, and the people who gave into the fear and tried to grab on ended up falling splat on the ground, and it's kind of embarrassing, I guess, for them. And the people who actually listened and let go and just trusted, slowly, gracefully fell to the ground and landed on their feet. And you can totally tell, you could totally see the people who trusted and the people who didn't. And you got two totally different results. And so what I'm trying to tell you here in this physical example is that if you trust and you let go, you're going to land gracefully. The universe has your back. They're going to plant you gracefully where you belong. But if you try to fight it and you try to hold back on again, you're going to cause yourself a whole lot of problems. You're going to make life really difficult for yourself without need. There's no need to. You just have to trust that the universe has your back. Trust that if you've learned your lesson, you're going to do things differently and you're going to get better results. Trust that the universe is there to be called on at any time. And you can call on that celestial mountain, and you're going to be gifted with spiritual energy, and they're going to be working on your behalf. And that if you let go of fear, you're going to get through any challenge, no matter what it is. Fear is our biggest opponent. It is what keeps us stuck where we are. Always. Always make your decisions based on love, not fear. That is a pattern that I had to break. A lot of people have to break that pattern and learn to let go. When we let go, what's meant to be ours will come back around. If we have to let it go because it's not right for us now, it doesn't mean that it's not right for you forever. It could come back around because you may just have to grow spiritually. But if it doesn't, it wasn't meant for you. It's like that saying of quit trying to kick down doors that are locked for you. They're locked for a reason, because whether or not you know it, there's something better waiting for you beyond that door. You're trying to knock on a door that's just got average things for you, and the universe is trying to tell you, no, what you deserve is over here. It's so much better. It's so much better. Trust us. So we got a little deep, but I think people needed to hear that message. And honestly, I needed to hear that message too for myself. The cards I pulled, I needed to hear today. So I thank you for being with me, for learning and growing along with me. If you like my podcast, please share it with your friends. Leave stars on iTunes or leave me some comments or feedback. I love hearing from you. I absolutely love hearing from you. Thank you to everyone who always sends me messages. It means the world to me. You really don't know how much you mean to me. I am sending you massive love and light. If you would like some help in learning how to break your old behavior patterns, check out A Purposeful Pilgrimage. It's on sale right now for $52. You can jump on my website and check that out. It's a membership where you will have these lessons forever. And I guarantee you that you will feel better and you will learn so much in this short amount of time. If you're interested in Reiki, also check out my website. We're interested in any essential oils because self-care is really important. With winter and all of these things coming up, it's important to support your immune system, and there's so many great products out there like the On Guard products from doTERRA that help you do just that. Well, I hope you have a fabulous day. I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.